Hello friends, welcome to the end of the year wrap-up Q&A where I pretend like we've been vlogging all year, but we haven't. More on that later. Yeah, welcome. I thought we would just do a quick debrief of how the whole year went, see how things are, answer some questions that you guys sent over on Instagram and YouTube's commentary section. Commentary, community, that's the word. And just have a general quick chit chat life update. Full disclosure, this is the second time I filmed half a whole video and then I realized there was no sound. So cool. I was like trying to be cooler and film this with my actual camera that has an external microphone to make the quality better. That really bit me in the butt because clearly we missed all that. So you're gonna hear me referencing things of like earlier I was wrapping teachers' gifts. Okay, that's what I was doing in the beginning of the video while I was explaining, like answering questions, and we were just having nice chit chat. You missed that, but the TLDR is I was wrapping teacher gifts and complaining that there's just a lot. There was a lot of gifts we had to do this year. I'm realizing that as your children get older and they all enter school, like that's 4 teachers because you have the teachers and the teachers' aides and then the principal of the school or the director of the preschool or whatever. And that's just like a lot of people. And I was complaining that like I gave them all $20 gift cards. I was like, okay, that's like $100 total. That seems fine. I wish we could give you more, but like it's yeah. And all my neighbors, I was talking to all my friends and neighbors and they were like, oh yeah, we did like 50 each. I'm like, 50 each? 50 each? So let me know what you guys do for teachers' gifts in the bottom. I would love to be able to do that, but that's just not my life. So I was talking about that and how I think I gave them a little candy, I don't know, some candy and then a gift card. It was not very elaborate. When I was walking in, when we gave them, like the girls the gifts to go give them, I saw the other parents' gifts and I was like, how? The level was so different. But that's been a running thing all year between my level and then the level of everyone else. There's a lot of people who I think stay home and like love doing that type of thing that go to this school. And I'm just like, I'm a skate by human. But anyway, that's where we are. I'll reference that. What else will I reference that you probably would need to know as back reference? I don't know. We'll just go through all the questions that we missed. I'm going to wrap a few things, take a look at it. And yeah, we have a few things that we have to wrap. Oh, this is not a good position. It's not well thought, Liz. Let's scooch. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Do you like our advent calendar puzzle? Every day you open a little box. Got it on Amazon. It was very cute. I'm gonna put all the pieces back. They're all numbered on the back so you can see which box they go in. And then we'll do it again in a couple years. Reuse, recycle, it's fine. But it was very fun. That was Joe and I's advent calendar. The girls had Legos. The one was far superior than the other. I got like 2 sets. It was like the Friends Lego advent calendar. The one was really cool. Avery happened to get that one, and the Piper's, it just wasn't the best. So buyer beware there. I mean, it was both a cool concept. You open like a little Lego thing in a whole scene every day, but one was far superior. Okay, what are the scissors? I'm just now seeing, I don't know how he did this. I'm just now seeing Joe the other day when I was doing a live stream, was wrapping gifts. He wrapped the chapstick. That is dedication. That is a level that I am not on. Good job, Joe. We have tape. Do you like my work from home outfit? No, I'm not wearing plaid pajamas on the bottom, you silly person. Let's see if we can move this down. Okay, well, how are you? How have things been? It's been a minute, a long minute. Is that how that goes? No, that's not. That is certainly not how that goes. There we go. Let's wrap some gifts, shall we? So I've got a list of questions that we're gonna go through, answer some of those. Just, a yearly fun little recap. What should we do first? I'm gonna open this. This is for one of Avery's. This is Avery's primary gift. We went like pretty low key. We usually go pretty low key on Christmas. It just makes it less stressful. She's been borrowing my phone all the time to take like videos and pictures. And so this looks kind of cool. Like you can do like selfie mode. It's like it's VTech, but it's supposed to, I don't know. I'll let you know if it's cool. It's a camera for her, so she can record, she can look at that. She doesn't have to borrow my phone all the time to do it. And there we go. Hopefully it's a good time, but I have to open it and charge it. And there's a case for it, which I think Joe might have already wrapped. It's fine. So, shall we start our question list? First one was just a very general and kind, how's life going? Life is going. It's overall, you always just feel bad like saying anything bad because comparatively, my life is really great. You know what I mean? It's been a weird year. I will say that. It's been a very weird year of, we moved into the house in the beginning of the year. So we built a house, which was great. And then it has just been since then kind of like relentless in things, which is everyone's life, right? It has been a expensive year. One of those years where not even necessarily housing related, but like weird other things have happened. So it's been like financially, you all know how that is, financially stressful when, it's been like, oh, you have this dental emergency and dental insurance doesn't cover anything. So that's thousands of dollars. And then something weird happens to your car and that's thousands of dollars. And then your tax things get screwed up and then you owe many thousands of dollars in addition to when you already paid the other monies. It's been financially stressful, which is always just hard, right? And on top of that, it's been like emotionally stressful because just children, you know what I mean? They're getting older and it is difficult to, when they have stuff going on and you can't fix it and it's going to be, you just want to fix everything for them. And now we're exiting that where you can fix it for them and you're kind of realizing like, oh, this is actually going to be kind of hard, like forever. That's hard. And then emotionally, it's been on like weird personal things have happened to a lot of people surrounding us in our lives. And so we've that sounds bad, but like, it's just been one thing after the other of like supporting people, being there for people, helping people navigate things. And it's been a lot. And then we got the plague. We've been endlessly sick. I know everyone else has been endlessly sick too. So because, Piper is in preschool and she's never been in school before, so she's catching every bug. We got COVID a few months ago and that destroyed me. Everyone else in my family was pretty much fine. I was destroyed for like a month, like in bed for 2 weeks and then destroyed, which was in the middle of like the holiday season. And then I've gotten every cold. It's just been, I got poison ivy over the summer. If you guys watch my lives, I got, over the summer, I got like systemic poison ivy, which destroyed me for like a month. Like I was having to take so much Benadryl that I was just unconscious because it ended up being what they said it was like a burn. Like I had 2nd-degree burns all over my body. Because I had it so bad that then my body went into like an inflammatory response and I was just head to toe hives. And they were like, well, there's nothing we can really do. Like if you were a burn victim, we would sedate you. So why don't you take a lot of Benadryl? And that lasted for weeks. And then I've been behind on life. I don't know. It's been one of those years. It's been one of those years. So that's where we are. We're hoping 2023 is better. We're going to hope. But then it's the weird cycle too, right? Where you feel bad complaining because other people have it so much worse. So that's where we are. But that's what's been happening. It's just been a lot. I'm sure many of you can relate. So that's where we are there. How is the house and the neighborhood? Ooh, more exciting things. So the house, overall good. As with anything, you kind of realize, I wish I had done this a little bit differently when we were building. As with anything, you see it and you're like, oh, I feel like maybe you could have like done better building that. Biggest concern was and still is, we don't really have a yard. So we moved in about a year ago and they decided to take 6 months after we moved in to plant grass seed, which immediately burned in the scalding heat of July. So we don't really have grass, we just have mud, which is surprisingly difficult when you have small children, because it's difficult to play in that. It's a hot mess. We did water religiously after we got the weeds. So after we got the seed down on it, which really just gave us very vivacious weeds. So that's been annoying. Our yard is also not graded well, so it holds water, and the outside is a mess. I'm hoping the inside is not a mess. Some little things we've noticed we're like, but mostly it's just the outside. But Our neighborhood is amazing. When we were moving in, I was kind of like, in a perfect world, there would be one or two other people that I just connect with, and like our kids are kind of going to be able to play, and just someone that I can like, I don't know, like it's hard to make friends with an adult, and I feel like most of your friends come from your neighborhoods when you're an adult. And we hit the jackpot with like neighbors. We have a core group of like 4 families that hang out literally every week. We get pizza. And we just rotate houses, and our kids just run like feral and wild, and we just hang out, and it's been like the best to have a situation where you can literally just be like, hi, I need to co-parent tonight. Like I will be bringing Cheerio dinner, which is just Cheerios, down to your house, and like, can we hang out? And for them to be like, oh yeah, no judgment, let's do that. And that's been absolutely amazing. So building a house on a mountain, very pretty views, yard, disaster, but overall great. And like other people, yeah, it's just been, we just live in different realities than other people too that live here, which has been funny because they've been able to do a lot to mitigate their yard disasters. And they were like, oh, well, you know, we just, you know, you can install this thing for $1 bajillion. I'm like, yeah, that's just, we live in different worlds, my dude. We live in different worlds, but it's going to be great one day when we have grass. I'm excited for this year when I can maybe try to plant a garden. I'm hoping I'm hoping I can try to plant a garden. I couldn't plant a garden last year, and you guys know that's a good thing for my soul. I couldn't last year because it wasn't graded at all. There was just weird mountains of dirt all over my yard. So we'll see. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine, right? It's going to be fine. Do you make goals for the year? My goal right now is to get this out of the box, which I'm not doing a very good job at. Like how is this so difficult? And then overall, no. So I don't make goals because if I don't meet them, I'm very hard on myself. And I usually don't meet my goals because my goals are very lofty. And when you make unreasonable goals, but you hold yourself to them, and you're the type of person who, if you don't meet your goals, you then spiral and feel like your self-worth is in the toilet, that's not the best. So I have learned that I don't set goals. I just set like life wish list things, and I prefer to more look at the last year and decide what is one thing I'm just not going to do in the new year, and we're going to try as hard as we can to just let it go. So this year, in the next year, we will be letting go, having guilt over the fact that we eat mostly frozen food. Okay, see, like it can be little things like that. I know a lot of people love to cook and do all of the things, and I always just feel so bad when I don't. And I try, and it just overwhelms me, and I hate it. So this year, I'm giving the gift of the goal of myself to just, you know what, frozen food is totally fine. I'm sure there's vegetables in it somewhere. We are going to be okay, and it's gonna be fine. So let me know what your goal of the year is, if you make goals, or if you just give yourself the goal gift of letting some things go. We'll get there. How did they... You know what? We're not going to worry about this right now. We're going to wrap a present because that's infinitely easier. Should we just give it to her in the box? Do you think it'll work out of the box? That's the real question. Because I want her to be able to play with it. But I don't want to... That's a later self problem. How's Holly? Let's go find her. She's good. She's doing good. She's definitely getting older though. Poor babe. Poor babe. But she's doing good. Princess is doing good. While we look for her, we can answer the question of, how's the house? Did you decorate it exactly like you want? Is it all set up? Lots of questions like that. Let me show you. Here, we have our beautifully decorated bedroom. Nothing is on the walls anywhere. Have we painted the white builder grade walls? Absolutely not. Zero time. I tell myself it's a Scandinavian look and that we're going for minimalism, and it's in vogue. I'm like, it's fine. This is our bedroom. Here we have our bed, and then we have the floor blankets that have lived there for a year because my children refuse to sleep in their beds. So that's exciting. In terms of decorations, my mom has come and put up some decorations. Shout out to my mom for being the best at that. She's like dug around in my basement, found things and be like, here you go, I'll put these out. So perfect. Have we hung things on the walls? No. Again, because indecision terrifying, paralyzing indecision that if I hang something on a wall other than what's in my office that I hung incorrectly, that I will also hang other things incorrectly and I will hate them. And then they're there forever. And, could you patch the holes? Yes. My brain's like, no. Once they're there, they're forever. We do have decorations though, a la Christmas. Here you go. Here's the girls' Christmas village. That's their tree that they can decorate and redecorate as much as they want in hopes that they decorate the main one slightly less often. It's sort of paid off, sort of. Holly, we're looking for the dog. The dog is over here. Here's the puppy. Oh, the puppy. People were asking about you. You need a Christmas haircut, a Christmas pup cut. We have some decorations over here. So I guess it was harsh to say we don't have decor when look at that magnificent display. Lovely. Here's those Legos advent calendars I was talking about. This one's, but this one's cool. It has like a whole house set up. See? You got the whole Christmas tree, this candelabra thing. Avery's got her whole village set up. Very, very cool. My mom's handiwork right there and over here. So like there are decorations, yes. Are we where I thought I would be at this point in life when we moved in? Like last year I was like, I'm gonna move in and paint. I'm gonna make wainscoting. It's gonna be like Pinterest worthy. Well, life laughed at me and we're not there. So that's where we are there. All right, I'm gonna transition back into the video where I was making teachers gifts, but I think we've answered all the questions that we had before that. Joseph is being an elf, so I should probably answer that. All right, I'll see you later. Bye. Hello. Okay. I had to just make 5 of these, literally write 5 cards, stuff it with the candy, put it in the envelope and tie the bow. And it took me an hour. How did it take me an hour? So let's answer really quick. One more question while I ponder. Oh, you're wobbling. I'm so sorry. While I ponder if I should I have the girls hand the bags to the people or should I put them in their backpacks? I feel like Avery could do it. Piper would lose them immediately and probably eat the contents. So maybe that's how we'll split it up. Anyway, I was going to answer the most popular question I got, which was very surprising, which was, are you going to ever start doing vlogs again or anything like that? So many people asked, which was ironic because I kind of stopped doing it because they weren't very popular. No one really, not very many people watched them. But also I had nothing to really talk about in my life. Also, I was feeling like I wanted to share less of details about my kids. I just kind of was going through a thing where I was like, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with what I'm sharing. So I stopped and then I just never restarted again. It's late. It's past my bedtime. My Christmas tree just turned off. You missed it in all its glory. It's right over there. Normally I'm in bed. Or at least upstairs by this time because that's my life now. I don't know. It didn't feel like there was anything worth sharing basically. And I've kind of, I'm not working clinically as a nurse practitioner. I feel like that's kind of why I had started doing the vlogging stuff, was to share that life. And now, I'm doing consulting work. I work at Lecturio doing nursing education stuff, and we'll answer a bunch more of the Q&A questions surrounding career tomorrow as I sort of navigate a work day, although it's going to be weird because the whole school thing and the play. But anyway, it'll be fine. No, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So I guess, I don't know. Let me know if you would want to see that. I feel like that would be boring though, to watch me just work from home and do the same thing every week. It's not like, with my old NP vlogs and stuff, different things were happening. I could give you tidbits about what I saw at work. That doesn't happen anymore. That's not the same life. And I have just decided I was going to, so that would be chopped out of it. And then what was the other half? I shared a lot of family stuff. And as my kids get older, I've decided I don't want to share that with them on the internet because I don't know if they would want to share it. It was different when they were really little, but now they're older and they're their own individual people. And I don't feel like they can, say, hey, that's fine. Because, well, who knows if they would eventually want that out there. So I feel like that would remove the other half of my content. So I don't know what it would be other than me going on random tangents. And I don't know, that feels like it would be not good. Maybe no one would want to watch that and then it would take my YouTube channel. So who knows? But that's why I haven't done any. Maybe if I do something fun, I'll do a vlog of it. I was supposed to go to Germany in December. And then I didn't because I got the plague. And but that would have been interesting to vlog. So I don't know, should I do it when I do fun things like that, for work? I do have a couple other work trips coming up. I don't know, who knows? But that's kind of where I am with that. So that very surprisingly, I was very surprised that was like the most popular question. But it also was kind of like, oh, nice. Like people care. Thanks, friends. What do you say, Holly? Should we go up and go to bed? You ready to go, girl? She's like, why are we still awake? Why? Because your mom procrastinates, Holly. That's why. Because I procrastinate and I wait till the last minute on everything. To be fair, I thought I had one more day. Didn't have one more day. It's fine. I had the stuff, so it's fine. It's fine. All right. You know, I'll just close that for good measure. Good morning. This is where I spend all of my life. My office, I haven't figured it out yet. It's a mess. Just don't know what to do with it. Before I had the desk like way closer to the window so that I could like look out of it. But then it was like, I was missing a lot of space in the back of the place. And then we moved it back here and now I'm like floating and I'm against a wall and I'm claustrophobic and it stresses me out. So unsure. I have no idea. I have no idea how this room, now that we're looking at it, it's difficult. It's a weird shape. I picked it because it has great light, but it's a little bit tricky to work with. We're gonna be fine. I would love to hire one of my neighbors is actually like an interior designer. Like that's what her little side hustle gig is, and I would love to be able to eventually hire her and have her at least just give me a design. I was like, I can do the things. I can't imagine it. I need help, but that's not in the budget of the moment. But yeah, this is my lair. I spend most of my time in my lair and I do meetings pretty much all morning. I start very early because the company I work, Lecturio, is in Germany. So I'm meeting them in their like afternoon and then we're trying to get together before their day ends and mine starts. So my days start really early, which makes preschool drop off really fun because you're trying to most of the time I'm like in a meeting trying to do that, or like Joe has to do all of it. So it's just a hot mess. So that's been exciting to navigate, but you know, hey, we're here. We're halfway through the year. We're doing the thing. Let's answer a question from our list before I log in and get to all my meetings. Do I miss any desires or plans? Not do I miss. Wrong question. Any desires or plans to provide care again as a nurse practitioner? Every now and then, when I'm in like a doctor's office or a medical setting, I get this twinge. I'm like, I kind of miss this. I like talking to people. I just like the setting. You know, healthcare settings for me are like home because I've been in there for so long, and I just feel like, I kind of get the urge. The other day, I almost dropped off my resume at a local family medicine office. They probably would have looked at me like I was crazy because I was gonna be like, I want to work 1 day a week. Here are my demands. They were gonna be like, who do you think you are? But the itch is there occasionally, but I just don't want to do it. I don't want to be trapped in it. I don't want to do it full time. I can't handle emotionally the situation where patients need so much more than they can actually get, of where they're coming in, they're like, I can't afford to come back for a follow-up, or I can't afford any of the medications or the referrals that you're sending me to. That, like, I can't describe to you how much that just destroyed me as a human. I love the role of a nurse practitioner. I loved doing the job when I could, but I couldn't do it. And the current system that we have does not support that. And I'm not someone who can dissociate the two and be like, oh, well, at least I can help you while you're right in front of me. I can't do that. I have to see, I don't know how people do that. And I can't wade through that dysfunction and see it every day without spiraling into like an existential crisis of like, our healthcare system is so messed up and the people who lead it are so corrupt, and like, how could this possibly be for profit? It just sends me into a doom spiral, and I don't want to live in a doom spiral. But that being said, I do miss it. So I don't know, maybe one day if I, become YouTube famous, I will, and make all the money, then I will go work at a free clinic, and I think I would really love that. But there we are with that. I don't have any plans to go back anytime soon. It's weird because when I quit my NP job in North Carolina when we moved, I assumed I was going to move up to Pennsylvania and immediately get a job. That was my goal. The goal was not to quit forever. And then I kind of had to sit with it for a minute and be like, oh wow, like this makes me really sad.
which then makes me sad because I love to do it. You know what I mean? So it's a mess. And I don't want to bring home right now all the charting. I don't want to be working these crazy long days, even though I am, which is funny. I was like, I'll work for myself, which that's a catch. If you're like, I don't want to work as much, don't go work for yourself. It doesn't work out well. You work all the time. But you know what I mean? I don't want to be catching up on charts all the time and just doing all the things. And I don't want to work in a different setting. I did a whole video all about that a long time ago. Primary care is why I became a nurse practitioner. So I don't want to go work in a different setting. That has no interest to me. It's like, no. But yeah, that's where we are with that one. All right, let me log into this meeting really quick, and then I'll catch up with you in a bit for some more work-related questions, YouTube-y things, side hustle things. Does YouTube pay me better than my nurse practitioner job? Good things ahead. I'll see you soon. Hello, it's much later. Play went great. They sang 4 songs. None of the children really participated. My child faced backwards, so she was facing like away from the crowd, but the teachers serenaded us and it was beautiful. Anyway, we're about to do a live stream. We're doing the tier lists for the nursing specialties, which is just supposed to be funny. If you haven't watched it, go back and do that. It's just like funny, haha. Don't take it too seriously. I'm sure some people will. But anyway, I wanted to show you what the setup looked like because I always like seeing the behind the scenes, so I'm going to make you see the behind the scenes. There is our whole setup. Are you gonna focus? No, you're not. I'm gonna have to get behind the camera really quick. Da-na, da-na-na-na, na-na-na-na. We have all these fun bright lights. They make the back look like bluish. It's not showing up in this light, but it's like purple blue. You get the point. Here's our closet of horrors. Going back to, are you moved in and done? Nope. A mess. A mess. Nothing here. I have this chair that I put here thinking, oh, I could sit and film and you'd be able to see the plaque, my YouTube plaque behind me, because isn't that what you're supposed to do, is show the YouTube plaque behind you? And I hung it wrong, so you don't see it at all when I'm sitting here. You literally just see this cute painting that I bought from some local artist that I liked the colors of. Doesn't really go with the vibe of the room at all, but I like the colors. So clearly I'm doing a really good job interior decorating. Anyway, let's talk about money, because I got a lot of questions about, there's a lot of people out there wondering if you should start YouTube channels or such, and you wondered what, we're getting back in the lights so that we're a good YouTuber and we use the lighting that we have. A lot of questions about how much money do you make on YouTube? Do you make more money as a nurse practitioner than you do on YouTube, or vice versa? And my dudes, oh, hold on, should we adjust this? Let's not burn your retinas right out of your face. Maybe it's not burning your retinas. Can we adjust this? There we are, there we are. We got the buttons. I've watched like 8 million Skillshare classes on how to do lighting, and I can't get it straight for the light of me, but I actually like how that looks. So anyway, money. I actually make no money from my channel. There is money that comes in from it. However, I didn't want to completely remove myself from like an actual job because I'm a chicken. And so, and I was like, what if I want to dive back in? I want there to be something on my like resume. So hence Lecturio. And I like working there. I like doing that. I wanted to see what nursing education was like without really doing it. And this has been great for that. So that being said, doing YouTube is like a full-time job, right? Even doing it like I do it, which is like 2 videos a week, maybe 3. So I actually hired my sister to basically run all the back end of YouTube. I'm like, I'm going to create things and you make it work somehow. And she's been doing a great job with that. But all of the money I make goes to her. And we've had to like dig into previous years of like business spending in order to actually pay her this year. It's a lot of information, I know. So no, if I worked as a nurse practitioner, I would make more, but I'm also a terrible YouTube person. I am super picky with who I partner with for like sponsorships. I don't do like clickbait. I try not to do clickbaity type stuff. I like making content that I like to make and not necessarily stuff that like would get, I don't know, the most views, but I was like, if I don't want to do it, then I don't know, I'm just gonna stick with that. So I'm a terrible person to ask this question to, essentially, but no, I make no money doing it. I hope that changes soon, because I'm kind of getting, it's like, I've been doing it now for like a year and some, and haven't seen any money from it. And daycare is really expensive. And I would love to see some money from something I put so much of my time into. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, you could probably do it in a lot smarter way, but it takes a long time in my experience to ramp up to earn money. So if you do that, you have to love it, because you have to be willing to do it if you're not getting paid in order to do that. But I'm grateful that I can still do this, and hopefully one day, I mean, hopefully it'll, something magical will happen and the YouTube algorithm gods will smile on me and the channel will grow, and then I will be able to pay myself and pay my sister for keeping our channel alive. So thank you to her for keeping it running. And if you like the video, shameless plug, like the video. It tells the YouTube gods that you enjoy the content and you would like to see it elsewhere, and maybe other people would like to watch it. So there's that. Anyway, that's marked. Let's mark it off the list. Oh no. Oh, dang it. That was a pop filter. It was supposed to make my p sounds less bad when I'm doing live streams. I don't think it worked. We're crossing off with a black pen. Let's do his YouTube pay better than nursing pay. Blah, 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 YouTube money. Okay, great. Let us do one or two. We have a live stream in 8 minutes, so we can do a couple more questions. Any desires or plans to provide care again? Did we already do that? I'd love to, but heart not in it, can't handle. We'll cross it off. I think we talked about that. Thoughts on integrative or alternative medicine? I don't love what is it? I like alternative medicine, basically. I have nothing against it. I find problems with integrative medicine when they start hawking you all of their vitamins and pushing all of that type of stuff. I hate that, because I think going to those people can be very helpful. I think it's very manipulative. They'll say, oh, we're treating the person at the root cause. Most healthcare providers, if they're good, not all, right, in the traditional Western medicine, are trying to do that. And they may give you medications to treat symptoms while they're looking for the root cause, because they don't want you to suffer. And this might just be what I've seen, but I've seen a lot of integrative medicine people be like, I'm not just going to slap medicine at it and call it a day. I'm going to find the cause. Well, it's well, dude, I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm also just going to give you medication to help treat what you're dealing with now before we get there. A lot of it just seems really scammy to me, of a way to get people to, like I said, buy all the vitamins that you want to send them. There's not as much data behind it, but if you do that and you love it, great. You know what I mean? If that has personally helped you feel healthier and do all the things, great. I just don't like it when they push a weird narrative as acting as if everyone in more traditional healthcare settings hates everyone. Hate that. But overall, my philosophy with all of that stuff is you do you. If I was your primary care provider, run it by me what you're taking. I might not know what it is, but then I can at least tell you that, hey, I don't know how these interact with you taking all these amino things. I don't know how that interacts with the medicines I am giving you. So just consciously know that. And then, but love things acupuncture, massage, be careful with chiropractors, be careful with that. But other stuff, supplement, sure, why not? If anything, it probably can't hurt, hopefully. But overall, yes, I think we could be more open to integrating it. But I think a lot of people are more open to integrating it now. I think it's kind of an outdated thing of everyone hating on it. At least I think. Let me know what you think. Favorite part of being a nurse practitioner? Okay, so my favorite part of being an NP was building relationships with people and being able to watch them get it, right? I loved preventative medicine, obviously. That's why I went into family medicine and private, into preventative care in general. I wanted to be able to help people catch their diabetes when it was very early, when their blood sugar was just starting to go up, and have the conversation, explain it in a way that they understood, explain why blood pressure was bad, high blood pressure was bad, explain why and give them why things were happening in their body and what was going on, and give them reasonable steps to help it, right? Not making grandiose, you need to all of a sudden start this crazy exercise plan and do X, Y, and Z, making things that they could actually follow. I just loved seeing that. And then having the relationship long-term where that they would come to you with things and they would trust your opinion and take what you said very seriously and just respect it. I just thought that was so cool, that people trusted you and you were their person. You were the person who they came to for all of their healthcare questions. And I loved that. And I truly hope our healthcare system figures itself out and becomes something that is accessible by everyone And then I would love to go back in and do that. That would make me so, so happy. All right, shall we hop on? And I'm gonna do my live stream and then go to bed because it's late. Go to bed. I realized yesterday too, I was like, oh, I'm in bed by 10. I need you to know I'm in bed. And then awake for 2 hours as I scroll my phone. Yesterday I was thinking, I was like, wow, that makes me sound like a different human than I am. And we're not trying to do that here. We are not trying to do that here. Okay, cross that one off. Perfect. We're dwindling down. We're dwindling down on the list. All right, let's get going. 4 minutes. Will I be on time? Probably not. Hello. This is probably not a good angle, but we're in my corner. We're gonna finish up some of these questions. This turned into, I was like, I'm gonna make it like a vlog Q&A, and it really just turned into more of a, I'm going to answer questions throughout the week in different corners of my house. So here we are. Here's the corner where you're supposed to be able to see the plaque to make everyone know that I'm very official and you should watch this channel, but it didn't quite work out like that, did it? We tried. Gift idea. Here's my, everyone does a gift list, right? What do you call it? Is it a gift list? I don't even know what they call it. An ember mug, friends. If you have anyone that you love a lot, because I think they're like $140, and they consume a lot of coffee, tea, whatever, an ember mug. You get to pick the temperature it's at. Love it. Favorite thing. Got it for my birthday. Best. There you go. Gift list. Okay, that was one of the questions. Someone's like, are you going to put out a gift guide? That's what they called it. A gift guide. There you go. Get someone you love an ember mug. If this is going out after Christmas, so, you know. I did see on Instagram, though, someone had messaged me because I was like, this is just overwhelming, and I forgot to buy everyone in my family gifts except for my children. Literally everyone. They were like, we always give gifts at things just on Valentine's Day. I was like, well, that's genius, because, like, you're not stressed anymore. Anyway, that's where we are. How, let's look, high and lows of 2022. High, getting our house, right? That was very exciting. We moved in, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Was it January? Was it February? March and April. It was somewhere in the beginning of the year. That was great. That was nice. Getting established here, meeting all of our neighbors. It's been a great neighborhood. It's just been all good things in that aspect. And I would say lows has probably just been, I don't know, my brain's been funky. I have been in a weird mental spot. I feel very, we had talked earlier about how it was just like relentless, like it's been a relentless year kind of, but, you know, everything has turned out mostly fine. We're fine. It's going to be fine. It's just like, my brain is in a weird spot. I would say my low has been my mental health, which we're working on. Speaking of which, someone asked, how are things on Lexapro? So I was on Zoloft for a very long time. And let me know, I actually came off of it when I had COVID a few weeks ago, unintentionally. I was planning on probably coming off of it because I was getting kind of like manic pretty much, where I was not having, it was making me more anxious basically. So I guess manic's not a good word for it. And I was not good. And it was kind of like a slow spiral. Like Zoloft worked so well for me for so long. And then all of a sudden I was just like a shell of a human. I was so stressed. Everything was overwhelming me. I couldn't get anything done. And this was like, blah, 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 like building up. And then I got COVID. I was like, I think sometimes sometimes Zoloft can do that to you. It was rude of it to turn on me after so many years, but I was going to trial off of it to wean myself off of it anyway, to try to see if I could go in. I'm on what was a 10-month waiting list to get in to see a psychiatrist. Now we have 6 months left. Woohoo! So I'm going to go do that, see if there's anything else. I haven't restarted anything yet, but basically I weaned off when I got the plague on accident. I had intended on maybe doing that eventually, but I forgot to take it. I was so sick. I literally just like didn't take it and then would remember and then would forget and then would remember. And I was like, well, this is a perfect way to taper. Terrible situation. So not on it. If you want a more detailed explanation of all of that and kind of the situation around it, let me know. If not, then we won't. And I'll update you when I have other things to talk about. I don't know. Well, like I said, we'll update if we need. Oh, here's one that we missed yesterday when we were talking about jobs. How confident do you feel diagnosing patients definitively? So when I was in practice as a nurse practitioner, diagnosing people is sort of like, it's an evolving adventure, right? You kind of, you fit all the pieces into something and you're like, I think this is it. This matches, this would explain all of your symptoms. This seems to be the most likely thing that we're working with here. Everything is supporting this diagnosis. We treat you. Does it get better? If no, we keep looking for answers. If there are still symptoms, if there's still other worrisome things, we keep moving on and trying to further narrow it down. But I felt very confident diagnosing basic things that were in my wheelhouse of primary care, essentially. Blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol. You have a cold probably versus this, but also understand. So I felt very comfortable with a lot of it, not with everything. That was when I happily reached out to my collaborating physician. I was like, could you just look at this? In the beginning, I had them look at everything, even if I was very sure it was what it was, because I just wanted to make sure. But just remember that with a diagnosis in general anyway, even if you're super confident, that doesn't mean that the diagnosis will not change, because you're constantly reevaluating it and making sure, does this still make sense, right? Just checking back in with it. Does this still explain what I am seeing here? Or could this be something else? And that goes for if you diagnose them with something and it seems to make a ton of sense at the time and something new comes in, you still have to be fluid with that initial diagnosis rather than adding a second one to say, hey, could this all be one thing? Is this two things? So just remembering that in your diagnosing, which that took me a long time to kind of get comfortable with, was being comfortable with having everything be open-ended and kind of like, I'm up for all of this changing because it changes. We, in medicine, in healthcare, we usually start with the thing that makes the most sense and then niche down. And you'll get that with time if you're just starting out, but you definitely gain confidence with time. You see patterns. Depends on where you work too. Where you work, you're going to start seeing the same thing over and over again, whether that's a specialty or primary care. Primary care, you still see weird, wacky things, but typically then you're reaching out to other people to come and help you, right? Other specialists to kind of broaden your net there. You're going to get comfortable with the bread and butter things you see all the time, and that really helps boost your confidence and your productivity. What's your favorite purse? I'll leave a picture of it on the screen. I think it's from Madewell. It's like a leather tote bag. Love that thing. It fits a bajillion things in it. I bought mine on Black Friday a few years ago. That's the best time to buy it, but I love that thing. It's great. Best advice for someone starting FNP school. Okay, so you're going to want to find a quick study modality that works for you. And by quick, I just mean something that's kind of that is your go-to, and that's the primary way you're going to study, and everything then you'll supplement with other stuff. Podcasts were mine. I loved them. Other things, I work at Lecturio. I really like their product. That's like a lot of video-based things, whether you do that or YouTube or podcasts. If you're in an FNP program, Curbsiders podcast, Primary Care Wrap. I have a whole video listing all my different primary care favorite podcasts. I would use that to teach myself things, right? Because that's going to teach you how to approach it, questions to ask. It will give you a good summary of it, and then approach the rest of your learning with that with just curiosity. Don't necessarily tailor it to a book super much. Did that make super much? I think that was wrong. Anyway, more look at a topic and ask yourself questions about it and explore through that, right? See, like, what would I want to reasonably know about this, and expand from there versus going linearly and just reading about it on a page. So much more boring. If you can learn about it generally through something and then ask yourself questions that come up as you're learning through it, you're going to learn a lot better. It's going to be a lot more interesting. And if you do it through like a podcast, or, if you have the ability to download YouTube videos, you're going to be able to learn it on the go. And that's the best. Learning on the go while you're in the car, driving wherever, so much easier. One thing you want new grad nurses to know: we need you to change this profession. No pressure. I want you to stand up for yourself and demand the respect and job situation that nurses deserve, right? I feel like my 10, 11, 12 years ago, when I was a nurse, when I first started, I was going to take whatever they were going to give me. They were like, we're going to pay you this, we're going to treat you this way. And it didn't even occur to me to stand up to that and be like, no, I'm not going to take a job that treats me this way. My encouragement would be, if you are able to be in a position to kind of demand a decent job, and you're not like, I just need to get a job right away, which I very much understand that is the case for a lot of people. hold employers accountable and be like, no, I'm not going to take this crappy job. I think if we all band together and come and say, hey, we kind of demand to be treated well. We demand jobs that are safe, where we're well compensated, where the ratios are safe, where, you know, we're not just like eking out survival day to day. That's where we are. So you were probably hoping for advice, but instead I'm asking you to fix the whole profession. So there we are. Also remember that as a new nurse, my friend, ask for help. Okay? Just buddy system, absolutely everything. Pull other people in. Hey, will you just come look at this with me? Ask questions. Ask. So many questions. Keep a little notebook. I have an A to Z notebook video where I talked about how I recorded information when I first needed to learn it as a nurse. And that's super helpful so you don't have to ask the same question twice. And remember that you are learning a very new thing, very, very new thing. And it's going to be overwhelming and you're going to feel really dumb in the beginning. And that's not you. That's you learning an entire profession. Nursing school laid the groundwork and now you're actually learning how to do the job. It's not you. It will become automated. The things that you are torturing yourself about right now, right? With how am I, like, you have to think through every single step and nothing is automatic. That's going to change, right? Your work environment, that might not be changeable. So be really picky about that if you can. But your ability to learn and do those tasks, that's going to improve. There's nothing wrong with you. It is overwhelming and takes up so much brain space to learn all of these new things. So just give yourself a lot of kindness and patience in all the other aspects of your life until your brain kind of catches up. And then within a year, you're going to be amazed at how automated a lot of stuff is for you. And I mean, you're just going to grow so much. So you can do this. You are going to do great. I promise. You can do the hard things. It's not you. You're not the only one. And you are enough, even though your brain is probably telling you that you are not. So that sounds like we just wrapped up the video with our little, trio of sayings. I am going to go downstairs and we're out of food. We're leaving in like 2 days though to go up to my parents. So I don't want to like go buy groceries. I mean, we have food, but it's like, you know, the weird things where you start concocting things with Spam and vegetable. Like I have like carrots and Spam. What are we going to have for dinner tonight? And tater tots. What kind of casserole are we making here? That's where we kind of are in life. But there we go. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everyone who submitted questions. It was kind of fun getting to do like a general little life update. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this, what you want to see in general. What do we want to do in 2023? This year has been a very different year for the YouTube channel overall. We've changed a lot of things. I picked you up and now you're wobbling and I'm really sorry. I meant to end the video and then I did my thing and I kept talking. It's been a very different year. I've really enjoyed covering a lot of the hot topic stuff that we see in healthcare and having these new conversations that are just very different than what my channel was before. I've enjoyed seeing where it goes, but I'd love to hear what you would like to see with it going forward. Anyway, thanks for being here. I hope you have a beautiful new year. Remember that you, my friends, you are not alone. You are more than enough just as you are, and you can do all the hard things. Thanks for being here. Have a great week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.